Hello students, welcome to part 3 of this chapter. So today we'll study the process of translation. In the last video, we have seen the process of transcription. Translation, it is the process in which the sequence of codons on the mRNA strand is used, and accordingly the amino acids, they are joined to each other to form a polypeptide chain which makes a protein. So it is like a decoding of mRNA, and the process involves 3 to 4 steps. First is activation of amino acids and formation of AAtRNA complex. Second is formation of polypeptide chain. In this, again 3 steps are there, that is the initiation, elongation and termination. Now first is activation of amino acids. So in the presence of enzyme amino acyl tRNA synthetase, the amino acids, that is AA, you can say, molecule is activated, and then each amino acid is attached to a specific transfer rRNA molecule at 3' to form amino acyl tRNA complex, that is AAtRNA complex, amino acyl tRNA complex. Now the reaction needs ATP, and this process is also called as charging of transfer RNA, or it is also called as amino acylation of tRNA. Now the formation of polypeptide chain is actual translation, and which involves 3 steps, that is the initiation, elongation and termination. So first we will see initiation. It begins with the formation of initial complex which requires the messenger RNA having codons for a polypeptide, and it requires ribosomes which consist of 2 subunits, the smaller 30S subunit and larger 50S subunits. So the initial amino acid 1 tRNA complex and ATP and GTP, they are acting as a source of energy, and the process of initiation requires initiation factors. So in prokaryotes, the first amino acid, or you can say amino acyl tRNA, AA1 tRNA complex has amino acid called as N-formyl methionine. N-formyl methionine. While in eukaryotes it is methionine. So the process starts with binding of messenger RNA on the smaller 30S subunit of ribosome. You can see in this figure. And the start codon is AUG, and it is very necessary to position it properly. That is, the start codon AUG is positioned properly. So the AA1 tRNA complex now gets started to start codon AUG, and this is done with the help of anticodon, that is UAC. So AUG start codon and anticodon for this is UAC of tRNA. Small and large unit of ribosome joins to form 70S ribosome. So therefore the ribosome has 3 sides. First is amino acyl side, that is the A side. Second, peptidyl side, which is also called as P site, and third is exit site or E site. The empty transfer RNA leaves from E site, that is the exit site, and only the amino acid AA1 tRNA complex binds at P site, that is the peptidyl sites, directly, while all other amino acid incoming amino tRNAs, they complexes and gets attached first at A site and they are shifted to P sites. So towards right hand side there is A sites and towards left side it is P sites. So newly amino acid, they are attached to A sites, then they are transferred to P site, and in this way long sequence of polypeptide is formed. So polypeptide chain is released from P site. Now next is elongation. After initiation, the process of elongation starts. This is done by formation of peptide linkages, or you can say bonds, in between successive amino acids molecules. So first amino acid, then second amino acid, then third amino acid, so on, they will get attached by peptide bonds. And the elongation activity is catalyzed by enzyme peptidyl transferase. So here this enzyme acts in the process of elongation. So each tRNA complex binds a specific amino acids, and due to complementary nature of anticodons and codons, the amino acid, they are placed to their proper position. And again the elongation activity also involves elongation factors. So here in this case you can see tRNA is taking amino acids from the surrounding, coming to A sites, then from the A site this amino acid is transferred to P site, that is the left hand side, and in this way a number of amino acids, they are linked to form a polypeptide chain. So this is the elongation. So during elongation the ribosomes moves along the mRNA in stepwise manner, one by one, from start to stop codon, from 5' to 3' end, and one codon ahead each time. So if this transcription or this elongation takes place, one codon ahead each time, one code moves at one time, and then another code, and one codon is made up of triplet of nucleotides, right? And this movement is called translocation. So in every step of translocation, the amino acid is added in the polypeptide chain, causing elongation. Now the third, termination. Elongation continues until the ribosome adds the last amino acid coded by the mRNA. When the messenger RNA reaches to the last termination codon, and these termination codons, they are UAA or UAG or UGA. These three are terminating codons. So when mRNA reaches this terminating codon, one of them, then this mRNA terminates. So in identifying the termination codon and releasing the polypeptide chain from the site, the release or the termination factors are also required. So they are R1, R2 and S, and they play an important role in terminating process. And what happens after termination? The smaller subunit of ribosome, that is 30S, and the larger 50S subunits of ribosome, they get separated from each other. And the energy which is required for this formation of polypeptide chain, that is the protein synthesis activity, is fulfilled by ATP and GTP. So this is the process of protein synthesis. So protein synthesis involves both transcription, translation, and translocation. Now, in order to increase the cellular efficiency of protein synthesis, many ribosomes may bind to messenger strand and form the polypeptide chain for synthesis of protein molecule. So when many ribosomes they attach to one another to form messenger RNA, they are called polyribosomes or polysomes. And each ribosome brings about synthesis of polypeptide chain. And therefore many identical chains of polypeptides they are produced. So the two unequal and irregular shaped subunits of ribosome, they fit together to form a cleft during protein synthesis, through which the messenger RNA pass. So a cleft is formed through which the messenger RNA passes as ribosome moves along it during translation. So this is protein synthesis. Now coming to genetic code. What is genetic code? See, it contains all genetic informations. The genes control, regulate, and express the characteristics, or you can say characters. And the expression of characters takes place through a specific protein. So the DNA contains all the genetic information of an organism, and the gene is a segment of DNA. mRNA molecule is formed on DNA, which later helps in the construction of protein molecule, that is a polypeptide chain. Just now we have seen. So therefore the messenger RNA act as an agent in conveying information from DNA to cytoplasm. So sequence of 3 nucleotide on the messenger RNA strand is called codon, and each codon codes for a specific amino acids. And this was suggested by George in 1954. So codon is made up of 3 nucleotides, and there are 4 types of nitrogen bases, and they form 64 combination of codons. So out of 61 codons, they are sense codons. Means they code for certain amino acids, sense codon. And 3 codons, they are termination codon. So 61 codons code for 20 amino acids required for protein synthesis. Now in this figure, you can see the genetic code. So genetic code, how to read the genetic code? The first letter to the left, then upper second letter, then the third letter. So if you read U in the first box, or UUC, or UUA, or UUG, means how you will join all 3. First letter from the left side, then take the second letter from topmost, that is UCAG, and the third letter from the other 4 boxes. So if you combine 3 in the first box, triple U, UUC, UUA and UUG. They codes for 2 amino acids. They codes for 2 amino acids. So first UUU and UUC is for phenylalanine and UUA and UUG is for leucine. Again, if you see second box, UCU, UCC, UCA and UCG is for serine. Then there is tyrosine, UAC, UAC and UAU. And there are 2 stop codon, UAA and UAG in this box. In the last box, again there is 1 stop codon. That is the terminating codon, UGA. And above that you will find UGU, UGC which is for cysteine. And UGG for tryptophan. Again, if you see in the next, there are 4 amino acids for leucine, 4 amino acids for proline, 4 codons for leucine, 4 codons for proline, then next 2 codons for histidine, and then 4 for arginine. Then again there are few more amino acids. So in all there are 20 amino acids. 20 amino acids which can be coded in this manner. So what are the characteristics of this genetic code? This is very important part of this. Genetic code is, first of all, it is triplet and commaless. That is, on the mRNA strand, the triplet codons are arranged one after the other without any gap or space. So they are commaless. Then they are non-overlapping code. Means there is a single code for single amino acid. No overlapping is there. It is then non-ambiguous. Each codon will specify a particular amino acids. However, there is an exception, that is AUG codes for methionine also, and GUG codes for valine. But if AUG is not available, then GUG codes for methionine as a start codon in protein synthesis. We have seen AUG as a methionine, which is a start codon. But if methionine is absent, GUG can code for methionine and can act as starting or start codon. So this is the only exception. Otherwise, the genetic code is non-ambiguous. Next is the genetic code is degenerate. Means it has 61 codons which are available for 20 amino acids. So 2 or more codons can specify the same amino acid. Hence it is said to be degenerate. Example, if you see triple G, then GGA or GGC and GGU code for glycine. It is coding for glycine. You can see in this figure, extreme last box, all 4 codons, they are for glycine. GGU, GGC, GGA and triple G. So these are for glycine. Then the polarity is one of the important feature of the genetic code. It can be read only in 5' to 3' direction of mRNA. So the genetic code start and stop, it has start and stop signals, and the codon AUG acts as initiation codon, which codes for methionine, while the codon UAG or UAA and UGA, they serve as stop codons. So therefore the genetic code is universal. It is similar in all organisms, from simple bacteria to complex organisms. But some exceptions are there, like in mitochondria of yeast and myoplasma. Now degeneracy of code is many codons for one amino acids. So there are 61 codons for 20 amino acids. One would expect presence of 61 types of transfer RNA, each with a specific anticodon for recognition of a particular codon. Means 64 codons they are required to synthesize 20 amino acids. So therefore there must be 21 types of tRNAs, transfer RNAs. But it is not so. The actual type of transfer RNA, they are much less than 61. So it indicates that the anticodon of transfer RNA can read 2 or more codons on mRNA. What? The anticodon of transfer RNA can read 2 or more codons on mRNA. So therefore there are much less than 61 transfer RNAs. So this is the characteristics of genetic code. Next is mutations. Sudden change in genetic sequence is called as mutations. Sudden change. And mutations, there are different types of mutation. You can see, like point mutations, shift mutation, addition or deletion. So these different types of mutation on this genetic code can lead to change in characteristics, or can lead to genetic disorders, can lead to chromosomal abnormalities. So genetic code is universal and it plays very important role. Any change in this genetic code of an individual leads to abnormal conditions. So this is all about today's lecture. I hope you have understood. Okay then children, take care. Goodbye.